I've gotten a lot of messages, right, from different persons since I started sharing my stock journey online, right? The progress I'm making, some of the stocks I'm buying, and all of that. Just sharing my little progress because I started investing in stocks in January 2026, right? I bought my first stocks. Um, I think I had like my first investment in stocks around December 28th or 31st of 2025, right? So I'm still quite new to stocks, but then I've been sharing my journey then, right? Occasionally, I will just talk about my stock journey. I'll just talk about maybe like some of my positions that are doing quite well. And based on all of the things I've been sharing, I've been getting different feedback from different persons who are also interested or who have also been curious, asking how can they invest in the stock market? How can they invest in the stocks? I'm just asking different questions around the stock market, and that is why I'm making this video, because I just feel like I have to make this video to explain better, right? It's not something I can be explaining to everyone that is the one after the other with text. And so we are just going to get right into it. For this video, we are going to be using Cowrywise, but then you don't have to use Cowrywise. You can use Bamboo, you can use Trove, you can use RiseVest. It depends on you, right? It depends on whichever one you want to use. It depends on whichever one you feel will be more convenient for you. But I feel like the process of investing in stocks on all of these platforms are quite similar, and so it doesn't really matter which one you go with. You are still eventually going to be able to invest in your stocks if you actually watch this video to the end, because I think the process is actually the same. The first thing is to open your Cowrywise, like you can see already, and set up your account. That's if you are new to Cowrywise. Now, if you are just going to create a new account, maybe you've not been using Cowrywise before, ensure that you use my coupon code, right, or my code, right? This is the code. Look at it on the screen. So I mean, this is just your little way of supporting this boy, right? So ensure that you use this code in your referral code. When you are creating the account, you will see a space where you can fill in the referral code. So please ensure that you use this code. Thank you. God bless you. All right. So set up the account, and then once your account is set up, do the verification and all of that. Once that is done, just go to invest. Now, if you have not invested on Cowrywise before, there might be a couple of things that you are going to that is going to come up here, right? I think there are different videos that Cowrywise has actually made around investing that are going to help you. So do well to watch those videos. Now, when I wanted to invest, this was some years back, right, or about a year ago, about some months ago, when I wanted to initially, I think this was in 2023, when I first heard about the stock market. I paid for a particular course that I wanted to learn from around the stock market. That was when I knew about Bamboo, right? So almost at the time, I actually had a Bamboo account, right? And then I funded the account, I think last year or last 2 years, to maybe 2024, with like 5K, because I wanted to like invest. But then personally, for me, the app felt confusing. Like I was confused. It was difficult for me to navigate through, right? And so when because I've always had the Cowrywise account, and so when I checked out Cowrywise and I saw that, oh wow, you can now invest inside Cowrywise, it just made it easier for me, since this is the account where I also save some of my money. So it makes it easier for me to just invest in Cowrywise, because this is the account I save, and so I just invest from there, right? So it makes the whole thing simpler for me. The processes are simpler, and that's why I personally just go with Cowrywise, right? For this video, let's go to my stash, right? So this is my stash, and I think I see I have some money in stash. This is 39,000. So I'm going to use some of these funds, right? Actually going to use some of these funds to buy stock so that you will see it practically. So let's go to invest again. Then let's go to Nigerian stocks. Now, wait a minute. We have NG stocks here, we have Naira mutual funds, right? We have dollar mutual fund. Now Naira mutual fund is a way to be a bit more safer, right? I mean, if you are not sure whether you are ready for these stock things or not, then Naira mutual fund will be the way for you, because or mutual fund generally will be the way for you, because um is less risky, right? So we have Naira mutual fund, and we have dollar mutual fund too. If you want to invest in dollar mutual fund and all of that, right? But then I think currently Cowrywise does not have like you can't invest in US stocks with Cowrywise, but then you can do that with the Bamboo. I think you can do that with Bamboo. You can do that with Rise Vest. You can do that with Trove. I think you can do that with Trove too. And then also, if you use Rainest, that's formerly called GeekPay, I think you can also. No, I don't think. I'm actually sure that you can also invest in US stocks with it. So if you're a freelancer and then you just earn your money in dollars, from there you can just invest directly. But then that instead of like converting it from naira to dollar from some of these apps, I feel like that is just better. But then that's just my opinion, right? But then back here for this video, I just want to show you how to invest in Nigerian stocks, right? I just want to show you how to invest in Nigerian stocks, not mutual funds. You can do your research. Please do your research, right? I think I should also say this at this point that I am not a financial expert. So I'm just because okay, let me click on NG stocks. Just because you see some of my positions, right? All of these things, right? Oh, I have 800 shares, Cadbury. Interesting. I think that should be my highest. Just because you see my position does not mean you should go and get this, right? This is not a financial advice. It's very important, very very important. Do your own research. I will show you what I look out for, or one of the things I look out for that actually make me just decide to buy a particular stock. One of the things I look out for, right? I can share it, but then all of these things you are seeing on my screen is not an indication. I am not saying you should go and buy this, but then these are the ones I bought. So we have different positions here, but then this is when you get to the position. Let's go to where you can actually buy the stocks, right? In the positions. So all you have to do is just to click on this. Look at this, please. Click on this. Then yeah, you now see different stocks that you can buy, different companies. So I'm assuming that you already know the stock you want to buy, right? And then look at there are different prices here. Look at their different prices. Yep. So you can also set your watch list, right? You can add some stocks that maybe you want to observe. And then we have NGX 30, we have indices, construction. These are different sectors that you can actually invest in, power, services. It makes it easy because I personally recommend that you diversify if you want to invest in the stock market. That is what I'm currently doing too. First, I want to get a solid stock, one solid stock across every industry. Then I can now start adding. It's giving I think its own true in chemistry, right? Which is that before no, is it untrue? I think is it untrue? I don't know. But there was one of the rules that before yeah, I think it's untrue that before the orbital gets feed it first gets feed singly before then start adding double. So that's just the idea, right? But then let's come back to short stocks, right? And then there are different stocks there. So let's say for example now I want to buy Seplat. Now Seplat was a stock that I wish I got, but then I didn't get it, so I lose that on this. But then the thing about stocks is that is because for every of my stock, every of the positions you see, I'm thinking long term. So I am aware that stocks is not a get rich quick scheme. It's not an avenue to get rich quick. I'm thinking long term. I'm thinking 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. That's what I'm thinking, right? And so the money I'm investing in stocks is the money that I'm willing to part way with. If anything happens to the money now, if the money even go forbid, let's say the market tank and all the stocks go down and then I lose the money, I will still be fine, right? And that is why I strongly recommend that you don't rush to the stock market. You evaluate, right? You don't just have maybe you have like 500k in your account and just feel like let me pour this 500k in the stock market when you do not have a structure that guarantees that you are still going to keep making money. You have to be really, really strategic. So we have 8-4, and so it actually went up. Now, usually I would wait to buy, right? Because you wait for the dip and then you buy. But then one thing I do, listen, one thing I do, this was the one thing I said I'm going to share, right? To be sure that I want to get a stock, right? To name is a stock that is going to grow, right? Is to look at, I would just tap on these 5 years, right? Tap on these 5 years here, and then I'll look at their growth. I'll look at their growth from 5 years ago. How have they grown? How have they, can you see? So I'll just look at their growth, and then from there to now, right? So for me, that is like an indication that okay, this company is growing, right? There are some countries that have not really grown over the past 5 years, right? And so there's no guarantee that they would still grow again in the next 5 years, right? So for me, I look at it from 5 years ago, and sometimes I also even zoom in down to 1 year ago, and I observe how has it stock done over the past 1 year. How has their growth been over the past 1 year? Now, if you look at this stock, you realize that it was almost static at some point. It even came down, and then it went up, right? It went up a bit, and then now it just jumped up this year. It just jumped up this year, right? So this is Seplat Energy. Well, I don't want to get Seplat Energy because the stock is very expensive, and I don't really have much money, as you can see in my stash, right? So let me see access. Okay, access is 26 naira. So I think I should get some access. I'll just get a few, and it has actually dumped. It has dumped. What was the value here? 24 naira, February 13. Okay, I will actually get some access to just show you. So I'll click on buy, right? I'll click on buy. Then a market order buys or sells a stock at the available price is fast, but the final price may be slightly higher or lower than expected. Got it? Now the stock market opens from 10 a.m. to like 5 p.m. every single day of the week, from Mondays to Friday. They don't open on weekends, and then they don't open before the time. But then you can always order on weekend, limit order, and by Monday your order is going to it's going to um it's going to go through basically. So for this now we have 26 naira per share. So let me get 100 shares. Let me get 100. How much would that be? Oh, a minimum of 189 shares is required. So the reason why they are saying this is because I think 189 shares will be like 5,000 naira. Because like I said, 5,000 naira is the, look at that. Can you see? Look at this. I'm coming. Look at this. So 5,000 naira is like the sorry. 5,000 naira is like the least you can use to invest in stock. Just take note of that. So 189, that's nice. So I'm just going to get, let me see what 500 will look like. So that will be 13,275 for 500. I'm not really sure I evaluated these guys. Let me see how they've grown. How they've grown over the years. Okay. It went up. It went up. This was in January 2024. Then it came down again. That's the stock market for you. You can go up very high and then to come down again. But then for the sake of this video, let me just get let me get 400. Let me get 400. I think that should be lesser. That's 10,000 rand. So let me just get 400. Then once you click on the amount of shares you want to get, right? Now you can set limit. Let's say that you are maybe like you've done your analysis and you feel like the value will still drop a bit. Then you can actually change your limit price. Look at that. Just tap on this and then change your limit price to, let's say you've analyzed and you feel like it will still drop to 23. So what that means is that at 23, that is when it's going to buy, right? So which is when it dips to 23, that's when it's going to buy. And then you can actually set your order validity. So good to 1 week. It means after 1 week, I think the order is going to be cancelled or something. Good to 3 days, good to the end of the day, right? So but then I do not want limit order. I just want to buy, right? I just buy now. And then we have 400, right? 400. And then we click on this 11,900 because of buffer amount. So buffer amount, a 10% buffer is charged to cover any price changes. Unused amount to be refunded to your starch, right? So starch is like the place where that's basically where Cowrywise send the money that is idle, right? It's called idle money there. So I'll click on buy now, and then you can buy with bank transfer, you can buy with Naira starch. So I'm buying with my starch already, so I'm just going to pay, and then let's wait for it. Order in progress. Your purchase of Access Holdings PLC shares will be processed within a day. We'll keep you updated on the status. Okay, and so I've initiated 400 shares. I've initiated buying 400 shares, and I think, where are you? Right, so you can look at that. Now there are other things, other details you can actually get about anyone you want to buy. Look at about, right, company details. This is the CEO, incorporated in 2021, registrar. So like you can get different details about the brand here, the brand or the stock you want to get, right? And then there's dividend yield, all of these things. I don't really bother myself with them, even though I know they're important. And then once, okay, it's not here yet. Okay, it's here actually. So I mean the time is 11:42 and today is a Tuesday, so it actually went through already. It's quite simple, right? It actually went through already. And then yep, so 26.55 naira. And then that is basically that about that. So that is how I invest in the stock market. Now usually another thing I really that gives me the prompt about a stock is from Twitter, right? From X, the TL. So I follow a couple of persons that seem to be doing well in the stock market, and then sometimes they just mention a particular stock, right? And then, but then I do not base my decision on just their own advice or just their own tweet, right? So once I get the name of the stock, I go to Cowrywise and then I search for the stock and then I observe the trend over the years, right? And then there are a lot of other things you can actually do. You can evaluate the brand itself. That okay, this particular brand, what is their product? What do they sell, right? How sustainable is their product, right? For example, now MTN. One of the reasons why MTN is like the one of the reasons why MTN is like a very solid brand, right? A very solid stock, right? Is because MTN is one brand that is very solid, right? Because they've been launching different products. You've been hearing people talk about Fiber X, for example, now, and then a lot of people are impressed with Fiber X, and then people are buying. That is basically what's happening. So as the brand is making sale, making more profit, it now reflects in their stock because it means the value of the company is going up, which automatically impacts the value of their stock, which automatically impact the value of their stock. So that is the way it works. So you can also just evaluate that. You can do your research that okay, this particular company, how has this company been doing over the years? How has been their profit, or what is their plan? Have they been really profitable over the years? Right? Some companies used to do declaration of profit, so you can just find their declaration of profit and then observe. Okay, this seems like a good company to buy, right, and to hold. So it depends on all of these factors and even more. So you can just do your own research. I hope this video has been able to help you. If it has helped you, let me know in the comment section. And then I'm sorry it's this long. I just wanted it to be as detailed as possible. Again, I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a stock expert. I am just a newbie that started stock about a month ago and has invested multiple six figures in stocks and is about to make about 6 figures profit from investing in stocks, right? But then understand that every day is no market. I think I just need to add is that every day is no market in the stock market, right? I mean, that is just to say that losses are sure. It's just like crypto, right? Just that it's less risky than crypto. You will make losses. There are times where you check it and then they are red. There were many of my stocks that were on red for more than a week before this spike just happened, right? And then if they go back to red again, like you can see now what I showed you, right? You can see that today alone I'm currently in red already, right? My I'm currently in red, right? So that is just to let you know that at the end of the day, it is not going to always be green, right? It is not going to always be green. Um, Sometimes you might see red, you might see blood, and then yeah, let's build weight together. I'm going to see you maybe in the next video. Share this video. Yes, that reminds me. Share this video too. I mean, you might be helping a young person who has been trying to invest in the stock market. Share this video, and depending on where you are seeing this, retweet, repost, the share, and all of that. And I'm going to see you another time.